Let's start off with a roll call.
I'm Maria Turner.
Morgan Fisher.
Jocelyn Lenz.
Zeke Walsh.
Bambi.
Jennifer Week. And I'm Zakia Ibrahim. The first quadrant we're going to work on is the lower right quadrant. What is important to all of you on the team about being a high-performing team?
I would say being productive.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Like being respectful to like all your team members is also.
Yeah. But I think being diligent is important.
Okay.
I think communication is also important.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with communication, like, I don't know how to word it, but like giving your group members like the benefit of the doubt, like that they don't mean like things in a negative way, like with their feedback, you know?
Yeah.
Acceptance of criticism.
What did you say?
Acceptance of criticism.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you had said feedback, and I wanted to kind of build off of that, like, but this is how you feel. These are the feelings ones.
These are the values.
Oh yeah. So, I'll hold that one for the next quadrant. But a good value like time management, because we're each we've got to be, working independently, but then bring our stuff to the group. And if we don't do that in a timely fashion, the group suffers. So each person's got to have good time management.
Great.
Leadership skills.
That's a good one.
Yeah. This was something I put in my individual, and I don't like leadership. Everyone's got that word, but like follower skills as well. I don't know, like being able to say I'm not the leader on this one. That can be tricky, but it's super important for a group. But I don't really know what the value is for that.
But like knowing when to like take a step back, kind of, and
right,
understanding your role.
Okay, did the note taker get all of that for the first quadrant?
I did, yes.
Okay, so the lower left quadrant, when you think about being a high performing team, what thoughts or feelings show up or get in the way?
One for me, I know just like anxiety of like, is this okay to the group, or I don't want to sound dumb, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I have second anxiety. That's actually one I put on my individual matrix as well.
Yes.
Just meeting new people to me is like I get so anxious. Like my stomach just gets all in knots. I don't like video calls. As you guys can see, I blocked out my video. That makes me so nervous.
Yeah, I had put nervous as mine too. Feel very nervous.
I would say meeting expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can second that. Nervous was one that I put on mine because my background is different from a lot of people, so I get nervous, like, is my work good enough because I haven't been in that area before. So, and then it's like I kind of have to resolve to just do the best I can. But yeah, in short, I feel nervous.
I can kind of piggyback off one, and I feel like something like am I competent enough with my work, or like feel like a little bit insecure about my work, you know?
Insecure. Yep, that's
Yeah.
the word.
That's a great one. Yeah, that's a great one. All right. Did our note taker get all of that for number 2?
Yeah, but doesn't number 2 some of them need to be in capitals and some need to be in
Oh,
Yeah,
the feelings. Like I
feelings in
feel
capitals.
nervous, right?
Yeah.
italic?
And then the thought that follows that feeling is in italics.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Anxiety,
feel
that's in
Anxiety would be capitals, I think, right?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. And you
Okay.
could like quote, "Is my work good enough?"
Correct.
Mhm.
That's exactly how it would look.
What about meeting expectations?
Yeah. Am I
Well,
competent?
Yeah. Am I competent?
Ooh, nice, competent.
That's in capital or
I think that's capital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is that coming after a feeling of anxiety or insecurity?
yeah, kind of.
Because it's the feeling that creates that question of,
Oh yeah.
am I competent enough? So maybe I feel insecure and think, am I competent enough?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well put, Maria.
Oh, no problem. I'm just remembering my individual one.
Okay, so on my list, anxiety, I feel insecure. Am I competent? Did you guys have other ones to add?
I think that's it for me, just because like I don't get as concerned about like being respectful or productive necessarily or communication. There's just like a few things within those values, like how, what I produce in the end,
Would like
that kind of thing. But I'm good with
feel
everything else.
stressed or feeling like there's no time? Would that go under this category?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
Okay,
stress is
frustrated.
a good one.
Yes.
Stress.
Oh yeah, stressed, definitely.
I
Uh,
definitely feel that one.
for me, it's the time management because I'm working such strange hours compared to the rest of you because you're all on the East Coast or half of you are. So it's, am I going to finish in the same time that they do, that everyone else does? And that's stress.
I mean, this is what inner stuff can show up and get in the way. Yeah, no, never mind.
I just added that to the list, so let me know if there's anything else you guys think of.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3 is upper left quadrant. What do you do to move away from or under the control of that bottom left stuff? These are behaviors that you do, thoughts, feelings that describe the lower quadrant. I know for me, like I said, the anxiety or the anxiousness for like the video call meetings, I turn off my camera.
Yeah.
Feedback off that, and like sometimes, like for my anxiety, I'll just like stay quiet or I won't give input.
Yes, I'll do that too.
I try to get refocused in a quiet space.
Say that again.
I said I try to get refocused in a quiet space.
Quiet, please.
As far as time management is concerned, the behavior that I do, I make a schedule. I like have a planner. I try to plan things out just sort of step by step, because then it's easier for me to manage my time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a horrible planner, just terrible, always have been. But ever since I started Ball State, I've had a calendar, and that has really helped because there's, with work and everything that's going on, it's really easy to drop something, and especially when you have a group relying on you, you can't drop something. So
Well said.
Yeah.
Would the calendar thing go this quadrant or in the next?
what could you? Yeah. Well,
I think that it's positive. So writing your schedule down, like Maria said, or like Zeke said, in a planner, I think that's a positive thing that could go into number 4.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because people could see, like, if I shared, like,
Right.
oh, because it's about a high performing group. If it was a group calendar, like what Jocelyn had made, then that would definitely be in the last quadrant. But yeah, I guess you could say like organizing your responsibilities, maybe, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or organizing your assignments.
That group calendar was awesome, by the way.
It really
It
is.
was.
I love all the colors.
So helpful. Yeah.
I'm glad it was so helpful.
So one thing I'm looking at the bottom left and says, is my work good enough? So one thing that I do is just become an expert in your section, because it's, it's impossible to like know everything. But if I'm the one responsible for something, I want to be the expert on it. So if I know
Mm-hmm.
more than I need to, then I don't feel as anxious because I know that my work is good enough, or I know that my knowledge is good enough.
Yeah.
So
And that could go
Agreed.
using time wisely too, because sometimes becoming the expert can take a lot more time
Yeah.
than you might want to spend.
So what bar should like becoming an expert be in?
The one you're typing in, I would say
yeah,
do extra research.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
And
that
that
would be
would,
number 4 in the top right.
Oh, really? That would be number 4?
I think that's number 3. And my reason is because it helps with the anxiety of not doing good enough work. Like I get number 3 and number 4 are very similar.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's confusing.
So I mean, yes, to move towards I can't actually see on number 3, all of them, but yeah, becoming an expert. But I just think to move away from that anxiety, what are you doing? And of course, all those things you're also moving towards the other
Okay.
route, right? So I don't know. Keep
Yeah.
going.
And moving towards something like that would also mean something physical that everyone else can see. We can't see him becoming an expert, but we can see an article that he shares with us or a source where he says, hey, I found out more information about this. And that would be box 4.
You can see my expert work.
Yes, we would see your expert work.
Do we have any others for number 3 then?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Can you guys think of any others for number 3 other than what I put?
One for me, that I was very anxious and stressed about is once I realized the amount of load that was there for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, what I'm gonna do. But the way I moved away from it is communicated that with everybody, and you guys kind of helped pick up some slack that was there. Kind of helped pick up those assignments. So communication, I guess.
Speaking up when something.
Speaking up, yeah.
Okay.
Which was very difficult. I was just like, I contemplated for like hours. Should I send it or not?
You had to. I'm glad you did.
All right, I got all of those.
Oh, there's my expert word.
Okay, so ready for number 4? The upper right quadrant. What could you as a team be seen doing to move towards who or what is important?
Okay, so as I understand it, in the fourth quadrant, it's like basically a manifestation of, the actual stuff we can see each other doing that's based off the third quadrant. So maybe for Zakiya, is it Zakiya or Zakiya? I'm so sorry.
It's Zakiya, but it's fine.
Zakiya.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to get it right on recording. If you turn off your camera, then maybe the action that you would do is you talk more to be like, hey, just because my face isn't visible, it doesn't mean that I communicate less. I just communicate more.
Okay.
So I guess communicating more, speaking more. I can't speak. Communicating more with your teammates during meetings, that kind of thing.
That's great.
I was thinking about
Yes.
making
I'm recording.
your responsibility for the workload.
I'm sorry?
I said I was thinking like either making a commitment or taking responsibility for your workload.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Hush.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm sorry. I had someone in my background.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I said making a commitment or taking responsibility for your workload. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a great one.
One for me would be just like actually voicing my opinions instead of like sitting in the back or staying quiet.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I think also producing your work, quality work, or trying to do quality work, because if you're quiet, maybe doing the overachieving the work. So kind of the whole becoming an expert part kind of shows that, yes, even though I'm quiet or not participating, I'm still doing all of the same work as everyone.
Yeah.
Let the work speak for itself. Speak for you. Oh, I have it.
The Epic group calendar definitely belongs in that last one. We all benefit from it.
It was awesome.
I don't like this one, but like, what about like when giving like feedback, like making it constructive and making it acceptable to others, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe engaging with each other about the feedback, because none of us are like passive about it. We don't just kind of type it and be done with it. Like we ask each other for clarification and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of just being like, oh, someone left feedback and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way.
What about asking for help? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow,
I don't know.
so basic, and I completely didn't even think about that.
That's a good one.
That's Zeke in his expertness.
Right.
This is a good.
Looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as good as that calendar.
Right.
Hey, we're talking about being a team of togetherness. You're just
I
trying to turn. Yeah. Add to quadrant 4, not turning against each other.
This is an important one.
No jealousy.
I think another one for quadrant 4 would be, I guess, being empathetic for people and their home lives too. In their if they're absent from messages or anything like that, I think someone else had said like not to take it as they're just skipping out. To just know that they're gonna get their work, but they may be going through something, and understanding that, and just trusting that they're gonna come through, or if they need help, they're gonna ask for the help.
Totally agreed.
That's a really
Awesome.
Ooh, I like being flu run.
Anyone else have anything?
I
Not on my end.
like list.
I think it looks great.
It's looking great.
It really does. It's fuller than I even thought it would be.
All right. If no one else has anything to add in any of the other quadrants. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah. What happened?
Control Z. Control Z.
Oh, what happened?
Can I hit you?
I moved it by accident. I don't know how to put it back.
Go to edit, undo.
But yeah, do the undo button. The top left.
Oh, hold on.
Oh girl.
Oh, there it goes.
Save.
Add coming together in times of crisis.
Crisis management.
Troubleshooting.
Got it.
And it was all recorded, so that's teamwork in action.
It was
I mean, that's high
perfect.
performance.
That's awesome.
All right, everyone. I think that wraps up this assignment. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Zeke, and the other 3 that were there in the beginning as we're trying to get through, and everyone on the same meeting.
We did it.
Yay.
I agree. Thank you for hosting the recording and all of that. It's all tech stuff I don't know how to do.
Yes. Thank you, Jennifer, for note taking.
Yay.
Morgan. That was actually Morgan.
Oh, sorry. Morgan, thank you for note taking.
I was only screen sharing.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I see it on Jennifer. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you for screen sharing, Jennifer, and typing Morgan.
Of course. Thank you guys.
All right.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'll send everyone the link, just FYI.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Cool.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.